All right, Nathan, my man, what vehicle are we standing in front of?
The 2014 Toyota Highlander.
Yep, that's right, the brand new Highlander, and we're here in California. Your old
stomping ground, yeah. I actually went to school in this area. We're near Santa Barbara.
Where Toyota flew us out to test drive this car. But before we can do that, they give us a complete download of everything they've done to it. We usually call it, what, Nathan?
Everything you want to know.
This is actually the third generation of Highlander. So the first one launched in 2001. Along the way, we launched a second one in 2008, and here we are launching the 2014. Looking at, probably what you're going to notice the most. One of the things is the improved packaging and value. So looking at our MSRP spread, starting with the LE, starts at about $29,000. And your gas models move up to about 41 and change. Looking at your hybrid limited models, again, that's about 47. So looking through just some of the different packaging, you'll notice that the option list is rather short and the list of standard features is rather long. So you're not going to have to get an option package to get an alloy wheel. Starting price includes alloy wheels, so on LE. As you move up, here you're seeing the three different wheels we're offering, with limited being a larger 19-inch wheel. You'll also some finer details. This is a limited with the platinum package off to your left, and over here on your right is an XLE all-wheel drive. So on our limited models, we'll actually move the daytime running lights into a LED underneath the fog light. That's standard. Looking at our option list I alluded to earlier, we have a platinum package, which is the larger package. That includes our driver tech package. We'll get into a little more on the packaging here, but just to kind of give you an overview of the different options, you can see it is a rather short list. Rear seat entertainment's available on XLE and Limited, and cannot be installed when you have the panoramic moonroof. So that's something we'll talk about a little more in a second. We also have second row captain's chairs and Blizzard Pearl paint, which you're seeing over here. So on the exterior, just some of the cues we wanted to cue you into. You see this bold grille that's wrapping around the side of the vehicle. Again, a strong shoulder line. When we get into the unibody itself, we'll talk a little bit more about the substructure, but the whole idea is, again, there are a lot of tolerances and radiuses of bends that we have to work within when we're building a car so you get consistent stamping. And one of the things we did with Highlander, because of this new stronger substructure that we've designed, we had to be a lot more bolder and expressive with the sheet metal bends on the exterior of the vehicle. So, but it was purposeful. There was a lot of aerodynamic cues that we paid attention to. So the sweeping front end, coming back into the shoulder. You'll also notice a bunch of other little tricks. The sprayer nozzles are tucked up underneath the back of the hood. Low profile wipers. And then the seam around the front windshield, you'll notice that it's seamless on the top. Again, just trying to smooth airflow over the top of the vehicle. You'll also notice we're channeling air around the sides of the window as well. We also have an integrated roof rail on higher trim levels. So again, looking at the rear of the vehicle over here, you'll notice on the base of the mirror and also on the rear tail light we're including our Vortex generators. But it's not just on the sides of the vehicle we're including this. Also, if you look at the picture here so you don't have to lay in the dirt, which I'm very impressed. Every night they're out here grooming this dirt before you get here. So it's very beautiful dirt, I'm sorry. Anyway, so if you look underneath you're looking at the rear underneath the bumper. There are actually spats that control air off the back of the vehicle. We actually have these spats midway underneath the vehicle and also underneath the engine bay as well. So again, think of like a surfboard carving through water. It's that same effect through air at speed. So it's just aero stability is what it's adding. Dimension-wise, it is just over a ½ an inch wider. Also, it's just under 3 inches longer, so it's still the same wheelbase. So there have been a lot of small packaging changes throughout the car. So looking at the skeleton, again, we've adopted ultra high strength steel in key places through the A pillar and B pillar, also through the roof rails. Looking at the side of the vehicle, we talked about the roof rails, the B pillar in between the front and rear door. We've also increased the diameter of the door bars that connect the A and B pillar when the door is closed. Again, just tying those two structures together. We've also moved to an ultra high strength steel with a higher tensile strength across the top of the front door that you're seeing here in red. Now, these are laying the foundation for basically what earned us an IHS Top Safety Pick Plus rating. So it's a very safe vehicle, and we'll talk more about safety in a little bit. One of the key focuses with the new Highlander was noise, vibration, and harshness. Now, our benchmark for this Highlander was actually not vehicles within its segment. It was vehicles outside of its segment, in the luxury segment. So the level of detail that went on into every minute detail, it was pretty extreme. So it wasn't just an acoustic windshield. If I could get 2 volunteers over here, someone if you knock on the front windshield for me, don't be shy. Okay, and then knock on the window back over here, just a side window. Okay, so there's a very different sound between the two. Again, it's a laminate over here on the driver's window that just helps absorb select frequencies of noise. But it doesn't just stop there. We have new engine mounts. Also, the bulkhead that separates the engine from the cabin where people are. Underneath, back behind the dash, we've actually increased the size of the damper, or the inner silencer. It's 25% bigger. Not only that, but any hole that goes through into the engine bay where your wiring would run, all of your heater assembly unit would go, a concentration was made to make those holes as small as possible so you have a smaller boot size and less potential for noise to travel through into the inner compartment. Didn't stop there. It also, attention was paid to the floor, as well as using a seam glue or a sealer around key areas where metal's coming together. When you're installing carpet in your house, there was also a carpet change. You know how there's a bottom layer, and then that's kind of the comfy part, right? It has some squish to it. And then you have a carpet that you lay down up over it. We have the same principle that we do in automobiles. Frequently when you're watching a vehicle be built at a plant, you'll see us put those two pieces together and then put them in the vehicle. What we actually did was we designed and installed these two carpet pieces separately. And what that allowed us to do is any gaps between carpet and sheet metal is a potential to have energy or sound come in through the vehicle and bounce around. So if you can minimize any of those air gaps, you eliminate a lot of those small crevices where noise generates. So this was done in combination with foam that we place through the door pillars. So if you actually are walking by a panel and knock on it, you'll notice it has a very solid sound to it. That in combination with if you live in a cold climate and you're ever driving down the road and you put your hand over the window switches and the door handle and you feel a little draft coming through, what they actually do is have a smoke machine, and they were blowing smoke through the door, through the outside, to try and track down those last little crevices where noise would come through. So again, what you end up with is a very quiet vehicle. Moving into performance, there were some suspension changes that we made. Without boring you, I geek out on suspension, but they increased the strength of the front McPherson strut assembly, a larger bearing size, a smaller diameter top of the spring. Again, just a more rigid assembly. And I think the benefit there for customers is really steering feel. That in combination with a new rear suspension. We have a trailing arm double wishbone rear suspension. Now, double wishbone suspension is usually something we talk about when we're launching a sports car, right? The benefit of this system is it gives you very precise control of how the wheel moves through its motion. So it's not just when you're throwing it through corners, but also when you're loading weight in. So, you know, we're saying that we have, you know, up to room for up to 8 in this vehicle. So as you load the vehicle down, the vehicle will go down in its travel. So it gives you very precise control of how those tires meet the ground. And again, the benefit there, you'll actually notice it through steering feel and also how the vehicle rotates through the corner. There are some great roads out here. The drive out to lunch, you guys will really get a chance to feel the difference that this new suspension made. But it's not just dynamic benefits, there's also interior benefits. So we actually have gone from a 7 passenger up to an 8 on select models. So XLE and below, you'll have an 8 passenger seating capacity. And then limited, you'll notice that there's captain's chairs. So I'm mixing you up here. This is the limited here. So you'll see captain's chairs in here in the second row. And then XLE, you'll notice that there's room for 3 in that second row. So just be aware of that. So we have 2 gas engine options. We have a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder. It's front wheel drive only. We also have a 3.5 liter V6. Now these are high-tech engines, dual overhead cam, dual variable valve timing with intelligence, so we can actually change how the engine breathes in and out for low and high RPM operation. Moving into the transmission, both of them use a 6-speed transmission with our latest transmission technology. So flex lockup at low speed, all the trickery we use to improve fuel economy and make for a nice driving car are here. We've also switched the all-wheel drive system. So we used to have a full-time all-wheel drive system that would split power between the front and the rear of the vehicle. So whatever power you're sending, we were always, you know, even during the highway, we were sending power to the front and rear. This new system, it's pretty slick. The nice thing about it, when you accelerate from a stop, it will send power to the rear of the vehicle. But when you're driving down the highway, we'll actually send 100% of the power to the front wheels. So some of you may have heard of this system before. It's very similar to what we have on the RAV4. So it's an on-demand system, more fuel efficient, and it also includes our downhill assist control. We also have a lock mode, so say you're out in some of those states that are getting slammed right now with snow. Lock mode will instantly put it in a 50-50 power split. So if you're trying to get out of your driveway without shoveling your car out, this will help you along your way. Talking a bit about performance stats, that 2.7 liter 4-cylinder, 185 horsepower, 184 foot-pounds of torque. MPG, remember it's front-wheel drive only, it's 20 in the city, 25 on the highway. Our 3.5 liter V6, again 270 horse, 248 foot-pounds of torque. Front-wheel drive is 1925, and that's an increase of 1 MPG in the city, highway, and combined. Looking at the all-wheel drive, you'll notice that it's 1824, and actually we gained 2 MPG on the highway thanks to that new all-wheel drive system and that great new transmission. Looking at tow ratings, you'll see anywhere from 1,500 pounds all the way up to 5,000. Our 4-cylinder is 1,500 pounds. Then our LE and LE Plus with the V6 is 2,000 pounds. And XLE and Limited, 5,000 pounds, thanks to the standard tow package that's included. Now, all of our tow ratings are established using the Society of Automotive Engineer, SAE International. It's a standard that was co-developed with all of the manufacturers that sell trucks. That was the prime focus, but Toyota didn't want to stop at trucks. We feel a transparent way of establishing your towing numbers is something that really any customer that's going to tow should know, that there's a transparent way that number was come to. Moving into hybrid, we do have a hybrid here as well for you to drive. It uses a 3.5 liter V6. Again, 280 net system horsepower when combined with the 3 electric motors.
Oh yeah, we're going to take up to Colorado eventually, and we're going to have some fun off-road.
But before then, we'll also do a complete review of this vehicle. But for now, this has been, well, more than everything you ever want to know about the 2014 Toyota Highlander. As always, this is
Nathan
and Roman saying thanks for watching, and see you next time. Nathan, where are we?
We're right by Solvang, California at Lake Cachuma.
That's right, here in California, where Toyota flew us out here to drive what?
The 2014 Toyota Highlander.
And of course, we have the limited edition, the top of the line, as always, and that is coming up next
On the Fast Lane Car.